This is Emax's 2.5-inch Cinehawk Mini. You'll notice that there's no camera or VTX in this particular model, but it's ready for an O3 Air Unit to be installed. I'm wondering, how easy or difficult is it to install an O3 Air Unit? And there we go. It's that easy. I wish. I did get a bit frustrated after I had to reverse course and things weren't going right, but hopefully this video will be helpful and you'll get this assembled in no time, because it's really not that hard, but there are some fiddly things that you need to be aware of. Alright, to prepare, I have a 1.5mm hex driver, as well as a PH quadruple zero for the screws on the air unit. The first thing to do is to remove the bottom plate. There are 4 hex screws here, and let's see if the 1.5mm driver works. Yes, it does. The bottom plate just comes right off. Alright, now I can pull the drone off of the propeller guards just by holding onto the frame, and just comes right off. That was easier than expected. Okay, the next step is to unscrew these 4 DJI screws. Now I believe the next step is to feed the wires of the camera and the antenna through the center here. So I'm going to do the camera first, and this is going towards the front, and then the antenna wires right here. I'm going to put this plate back on, and then I'll screw into those 4 holes there. And yes, the camera's already attached, but we'll go back and cover that in a sec. I'm going to align the air unit diagonally. Then I'll use the outer 4 screws to attach to the air unit. Okay, now I've got the air unit attached to the propeller guards. Next, I'm going to screw the camera to the mount here. And actually, in the box, Emax does provide a baggie with a bunch of screws. Let me pour them out here. Let's go with these little short guys here. Looks like there are 2 main screws and then 2 screws for the angle, once you decide on the angle. So I'll just get 4 ready to go. So, making sure that the DJI logo is upright, I'm going to position this cable around the, the antenna. The ELRS antenna is coming loose. I guess it snaps in to that little mount here, or just kind of, I guess the frame will hold it in place, but for now I want to feed this wire kind of around that antenna, just so it's out of the way of the props. Okay, and then I'm gonna get the camera up here. Okay, I think it's lined up. I'm gonna get the hex driver in there. Alright, so I got 1 screw in. I'll just keep it a little bit loose. And then second screw will hopefully be pretty much lined up. Okay, so they're both a little bit loose, but they're secure. Now I'm going to position this antenna back in its little slot here. Alright, so now we've got to attach these DJI wires to the O3 Air Unit. I think I'll feed it through the side gap. The wire going to the camera is very long. I don't want it to get in the props, so I'm going to try to just coil it up on top of the air unit as I put this down. I feel like this is very fiddly. Alright, so physically it's in and it's situated. The camera wires, oh goodness, what's this? Oh, this is the 3D printed mount to hold the antenna. Oh, that means I need to lift this up again. Put it on right there. Okay. So let's get this back in. You know what? I need to get the antenna in its little mount before I... Oh goodness, no. Okay, let's try this again. Putting everything back together. Oh, the ELRS antenna fell out of its little mount. Okay, put that in there. Those little, the plastic standoffs are going in their slots. Everything is going perfectly well. I'm not frustrated. This is amazing. And you know what? The camera wire is tucked in underneath nicely. I don't know if it's gonna stay there, but for now, it's looking good. And it's like out of the way. Time to plug in the air unit. And the pins are on the bottom, and that plugs in quite easily. So this plate has one side with a larger cutout, which is meant for the USB-C port. So these cables might be a problem. I'm going to kind of like make a little loop right here and then just sandwich it under the plate. I'm going to put this long screw in there. All right, now that the bottom plate is all screwed in, everything looks like it's in position. No wires in the way of the props. I think the only thing to do is get the camera screws tightened. Okay, so we've got a nut on the shortest screw. Well, other than having to use nuts as washers to set the camera angle, this is looking pretty good as Emax intended. Now all we need to do is take it for a flight. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Ready Set Drone.